Okay. Says I'm live. Thumbs up. I have no idea what I'm doing. So today, this is just me carving on the spoon mule. I'm doing the best I can here with this live stream stuff. So bear with me. So there's the spoon mule. Um, yeah, and that's it. So I'm gonna just give me 1 second. I'm gonna find the spoon that I'm gonna work on, and I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Gotta dig it out the freezer. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. If anybody's watching, okay, we'll work on one of these. I was going to work on the plum spoon that I kind of worked on my last video, but hey Joshua, what's up, buddy? Nice to see you, man. First, my first live stream, brother. We'll see how it goes. Going good so far. Um, if you're watching with your kids, I don't usually curse. Well, I do, but on the video, I'll watch my language for sure. I don't anticipate any foul language or anything, just in case you're wondering. Okay, so this one I pulled out the freezer. This is a template that I actually got from Barn the Spoon, and I'm losing my train of thought here. I was gonna show you guys carving the one of the plum cooking spoons from my last video, but they're still pretty thick, and I just feel like I don't know. It's gonna take a little bit too long. I don't know how long I'm gonna be streaming for. Sky's the limit for me. So we'll kind of see how it goes. So right now I'm just gonna draw the inner line. I'm gonna start working with the Tuca cam, I guess it's pronounced. Can never pronounce that thing. And I might switch. Now I'm thinking about it, I might actually switch back and forth with the one of the other spoons, just to show you guys some of the draw knife action, in case anybody's interested. I know you can always watch this on a replay after the stream is over. So that way I'll get some of my techniques, and I'm not really sure where I'm going with what I'm going to be doing with everything, but we'll see. So this is the Tuca cam. This is the Nick Westerman. It's the 50 millimeter. I've had this for many years now, and I'm going to try to pull you guys a little closer. Sorry about the lighting in here. It's good for me, probably not good for, hopefully I don't knock this camera over with my phone. And now, so just really quick, like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, I already did a lot of the finishing on this, or shaping rather. I use like the spoke shave and all that, and again, maybe in another stream in the future, I'll do more of the refining. But this, I might actually be able to finish this. This is one of my basic spoons that I can offer for when I'm selling at fairs for a relatively cheap price. And this is oak, so this is gonna be pretty. I've gotten very familiar with it, but it's a little tough to work. It's not too bad though. I'm getting the hang of it. Hopefully, well, I'll stop complaining about my camera work. I guess I'll get better with time. And this will take a minute. And with these spoons here, you know, you could go really shallow or you could go a little deeper. Just depends how much time you want to take. And I know there's one person watching, Joshua. You know, dude, if you got any questions, put them in there. I'll try to answer them or anything. This is usually what I do, and I'm down here in the basement all by myself, carving away. I got plenty of spoons in the freezer if this fails. The oak has been a little finicky. I've gotten several of these where I've almost finished the spoon and a piece will kind of split off. And I'm not really sure why. Oak seems to be a little funky like that. The wood is fine. My guess is that, hopefully everybody can hear me. My guess is, let me see if I can turn this up. I don't know if I don't mess anything up. Oh, there we go. Sorry. I've been talking for like 6 minutes. I have no idea if anybody heard anything. I have no idea. But Joshua, I saw you comment. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. There we go. Okay, great. Oh, awesome. Okay. This, oh yeah, no problem. This is oak. I'm not sure if it's red oak, white oak. It was given to me. And like I said earlier, this wood's kind of finicky, but I have plenty of spoons in my freezer in case this one fails. So yeah, it's actually not that bad to carve. Believe it or not. I know there's some spoon carvers out there, anybody who's fairly new to carving. You'll see, like, especially like on Instagram, a lot of people will say, oh, don't carve oak, don't carve this. I only carve birch. I mean, you know, look, I'm a city guy. I do have some exceptions of what I will not carve or just refuse, but you kind of have to carve what you can find. But I live in the part of the city where there's a lot of trees. I'm very close to the suburbs. I'm like 30 seconds away from one of the suburbs here, and there's access to a lot of trees and stuff. So been fortunate to be able to have been given a lot of wood over the years. And this spoon, I know I kind of get into all different topics. I'll try to do some live streams where I'm carving. I plan on doing several where I'll go over my axes and my hook knives and my carving knives, things like that. And if anybody's interested, we'll even talk about my experience with selling my work over the past, I think I've been selling now, I don't know, 7 years now, 6 or 7 years. We can just kind of talk about that, I guess. You know, I kind of freestyle things. I don't really have a plan when I do these videos. I just kind of do it. So now I've kind of, let me put this, so messy in here. Let's see what else we got. Let me check these comments out. Okay. So here's the spoon here. It's partially hollowed out. So I'm going to flip it around the other side and work in a different direction with the, let me slide you guys over. Oh man, I don't know if this is helping, but we'll see. Here. Oops. That's the great thing with this shave with the spoon mule. It's so great. It's been such a big help. I was able to achieve a lot with the shave horse, which I still have. I don't use it, although I do use, this thing has an attachment, a shave horse attachment. I do use that, but as far as like what I'm doing here, I could not achieve this flipping it both directions with just the shave horse. It just it got in the way. So this thing's been so great. It's been helped me out so much. And I'm not really a builder at all, but I do have the plans to make a spoon mule. I'm going to try to tackle that at some point. I tried to do it a few years ago. It didn't work out. I lost the plans. I bought the new plans from Michigan Sloyd. He's got some really detailed plans. Whoa. And so I'll try to tackle that at some point if I can. Yeah, so anyway, this is oak, and like I was saying, you just kind of, man, you just carve what you can, and I don't really focus on my time anymore, ever, really. I don't really pay attention to how long it takes. I just kind of do it. Flip it around. Be careful there. I almost feel like the oak is like a little brittle when carving, especially when you get to the edges. So I've had, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 that have kind of like split, like I mentioned earlier. And that's a lot for me. And I think it's really just the wood. I think it's so, could be the way the grain is. I don't know. So it's been a little weird. And that's why I'm glad I'm doing these, like, I'll call these like simple spoons, just a template. I cut myself? No, sorry. Thought I cut myself. That happens like every time you're working and then you feel like you're about to cut yourself. But I didn't. This one's probably going to be a little shallow, but we'll see. I don't know what you can see. Let me turn this. I think that might help you out a little bit better. So this, I just kind of keep flipping it back and forth. It's hard to see. Let me fix that. Okay. So to a point, at least for me, I just take it to the hand and I just start kind of carving it out a little bit. Then I'll go back to the shave horse. I just kind of go back and forth, you know. You know, again, this is a very solitary hobby, I guess. Although it is fun to carve with people and just kind of talk and stuff and share your experiences with your craft, I guess. And I think the next, maybe another, I don't know, I kind of did a video like this. It wasn't a live stream where I kind of showed off my spoon collection from other makers and try to get my thoughts out to you guys about, I always feel it's important to buy from other people. I don't say this so you guys can buy my spoons that I generally sell at the craft fairs, but just to learn the craft, I guess. It's so helpful to have other people's work and to study it. So I might go over that if there's any interest. We'll see. Flip this back over. Hopefully I don't drop this. There we go. Something like that. So I'll try to cover my tools, the spoons I have, some of my thoughts on, like I said, selling. I don't know, not getting distracted with social media and overthinking things, I guess. I don't know. Okay, let me switch to another tool. So I got the, this is a Nick Westerman, faucet blade. This is like the first one I got. I have a bunch of others, but this one I just use. This is the one I pretty much use. Sorry, I'm trying my best with this camera work here. Let's see here. Let's get back here. Something like that. You know, you get in funky positions when you carve, so it's like really hard to show you what I'm doing. So I'm just kind of refining this a little bit more. I'm just kind of getting it down. I'm always going to be playing with it. And when I think I'm done, I'll come back to it later if I see something. Sometimes when you look at it in different light, an actual, like the sunlight will make you look at a certain part of the spoon, and then you'll grab your knife and fix that part that looks messed up. That happens. And again, it's very easy to overdo it. I'm just trying to get this. And I just want to show you. Then we have these pencil lines, and we'll clean that up with the draw knife in a few minutes. You could do it with the carving knife, but definitely got to sharpen these hook knives. Always in this little back part here is always a pain. I'm so envious of some of these, the carvers, their work, so clean. I've gotten better, and but man, some people's work is just like is nuts. So nice. All right, so let me take a look here. Get too crazy here. Been carving this oak for a while. I'm afraid when I go back to carving cherry, cherry's gonna feel like balsa wood or something. Okay, I think this is getting good for the bowl. This type of spoon is, like I said, let me get the template to show you guys. Where is it? Is this it? No, it's not it. Get my bag of templates here. Oh, here it is. Oops. This is the template. There's a spoon. I'm not trying to make it exact. And actually, the template, this particular template, this really tapers at the top when you hold it. So I did make a couple that were pretty much exactly like the template. But again, after using it, my wife is a great cook. So, I let her use it. And she felt like how I felt, that this pretty extreme taper, it just, to me, it just felt weird. It actually just felt like the spoon wanted to fall out of my hand while using it, so it was kind of weird. So that's like an adaptation. So the template is a guide, um, and that's the great thing. So what I do is I just, after I trace it, I just widen the top a little bit, and just to make it a little bit more comfortable for my use. It looks cool, but I'm always worried about the end user, people using my work, using the spoons, and it has to function. It's really got to function. Sorry about that. You see my ugly face there? Oh man, just joking. All right. So actually, I'm gonna do a couple more things here. Here's my knife. Okay. Let me go back. Sorry, I'm just like going around here. I just want to clean up this little sweep there. So I'm just gonna not do too much, just clean that up. Yeah, so yeah, this is a template from Barn the Spoon, from his website. He's got a bunch of he's got templates that he offers. Clean this up a little bit. Look at it here. Okay, that's good. Okay, off to the draw knife. Back it up a little bit for you guys. Okay. Okay, now we're good. Okay. Afraid to adjust this again. What happened? Okay. So now we're just going to take the draw knife and we're going to remove the pencil line and just kind of smooth out very carefully. Okay. You could do this with a carving knife. Okay, nice and easy. Okay. Real careful. Okay, cleaned it up just a little bit. Again, this spoon is not finished yet at all. And actually, I'm going to switch to another tool. spoke shave, very helpful. Probably my most used tools, honestly, now are a spoke shave and a draw knife. I've got multiple draw knives. A good tip that I've been doing for years is I'll go on eBay. Takes a minute though. I'll go on eBay, find a draw knife, and then I'll just resharpen it. And those things are like this one here I got years ago. It's an old Witherby draw knife, and sharpened it. It's incredible. So yeah, my most used tools now are these. Now we're going to clean up the pencil lines on the handle, and we'll be transitioning that down into the bowl to give it a smooth transition from the handle to the bowl. I don't worry about perfection with the cooking spoons. They're not all perfect. You just have to look nice. You don't take much off here, just a little bit. Get that down. Be refining that as we go along. So we cleaned that up. Underneath is pretty good. I got these pencil lines or whatever. You know, again, when you're making stuff for fairs and craft fairs, you know, I'm not really interested in using power tools at all, or to do the carving. The spoke shave, you could do this with a knife and everything, but man, you do that enough times, man, you're going to be in pain. It's going to be horrible. Feel it. Plenty of material. Plenty. It's taking very thin shavings here. It's why the spoke shave is awesome. A lot more control compared to your carving knife. If you're trying to get, you know, like for example, for this spoon, I like the thickness. So really easy to take off too much with the knife. Even if you have good knife control, the spoke shave just takes very, very, very thin shavings. I mean, look at this. Hopefully I don't drop that. Super thin shavings. I mean, hard to do that with a knife consistently, you know. So just thinning it out just a little bit. The back handle a little bit here, nice and smooth. Flip it. I'm going to do a little push. So clean it up a little bit. Still kind of shaping as I go along here, just ever so slightly. Okay. Just shaping it, that's all we're doing here. Oak is pretty forgiving. It different than the other woods for sure. Obviously, when you're carving, and you can probably go a lot thinner than you realize. Just fix this here. It's not even here. This side's a little higher, so I'm going to just get that down. Where's my spoke shave? Get that down just a little bit more. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Joshua, spoke shave. Sorry if I missed some of the comments. I'll try to get back to you either on Instagram as well and through the YouTube. But yeah, the spoke shave for this application, or if you had like if you have like a woodworker's like a real table, like a woodworking table, if you're making like furniture and stuff, you have like the vise. You can you can do the same things, so you're kind of limited with certain things, but in any event, yeah, the spoke shave, um, man, it just I don't know, it's just like a consistent. You just get consistency out of it, I guess. You know, when you're trying to, like I said, I always say this: you can use a carving knife, you can do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. I've done it for many years and all that. It just man, it just wears and tears on your body. You know, your elbow. I actually had to stop carving recently for like a couple weeks because I was getting carpal tunnel because I'm trying to, you know, uh, rush and force myself into making a lot of spoons for the upcoming fairs. It's kind of like one of the pitfalls of, you know, carving as a side business, I guess. You know, I have a full-time job, but yeah, so you're all, at least for me anyway, I'm always under pressure to have a lot of spoons available because there's always events that are coming up. There's like I had mentioned in another video where somebody might call you a, a week in advance and say, "Hey, next week I have an event. Can you do my event?" And you know, a week you can only carve but so many spoons anyway, so there's not much you can really do. But you know, it's just always under a lot of pressure. It's not really that great, but okay. So now I'm just gonna be going around the spoon. Typically, what I do is not always, but I try to do this next. Is I create. It's hard to see it, but I'm going to create these bevels that will just. This is underneath the spoon that will just kind of blend in from the bowl to neck transition, I guess. So I'm just going to create these bevels and blend it in, and hopefully it turns out nice. I don't know. Turns out usually pretty good, I guess, sometimes. So I'm just taking. I'm not really getting into a lesson here, but I'll just try to explain the best that I can what I'm doing. So if you see, this is like a high spot here. I'm just going to take that off and make like a bevel. Try to explain what I'm doing. It may not come off. Man, this stuff is tough, man. Whew. And this is. Okay, there we go. When I got it, it was cut. I've been fortunate recently where the stuff that I've received or have got was cut the same day that I got it. And with this oak, I got this a while ago. It was cut the same day that the guy dropped it off to me, and like a day or two later, I processed them and put the wood in my freezer. So this is still like wet, like as if it was just cut, and it is wet. It's very wet. And with that, it's tough. But this is oak, so I'm creating a little bevel there, and this will all be refined. Actually do this with the spoke shave as well. You don't have to use the carving knife. You can actually take the spoke shave and take that high spot off. I do that sometimes depending on just how I feel. Just depends. It's not. Oh. There we go. So what I usually do is I take those corners off, and it's going to blend in to the handle and create these bevels. When this spoon is like completely done, I will post it on Instagram. So you could maybe get a better look. The lighting is not good. It's a little easier to take better pictures, outside. Um, and remember, in your carving, again, this is just a general thing. Just be careful with the neck here. So easy to take off too much material. And this is about cooking spoons. When we're getting into eating spoons, that's a whole nother animal. Those are really hard. I don't make many eating spoons. I think because they're hard. So I'm always a little intimidated by the eating spoons. Because they're so hard to make. But we're just going to, whoops. Continue our carving here. And these all come out a little different. Let me go forward here a little bit. I'm not trying to set the world on fire with this style of spoon. I want them to look nice, but this is like a spoon. I don't want to say generic spoon, but it's one of the lower cost spoons because it's a full template. The spoons that I make where I'm actually designing from scratch, like the whole thing, I try to just do some. I pay a little bit more attention to what I'm doing, and I worry with those spoons because they cost a little bit more. I worry a little bit more about um, making things look a little bit more perfect if I can. But then also, I don't want the selling aspect of things to kind of get in the way of my of the carving because it kind of I don't know. I don't ever really make anything just to make it quickly. I don't worry about, like I said, I don't worry about my time, but certain styles I'm okay with certain I don't want to say defects, but uh, I don't know, just certain aesthetic things, I guess. We're just going to keep messing with this. And for me, these just have to be functional spoons. They have to look nice, but also um, I do worry a lot about how it feels in the hand and how it's going to be used in the kitchen and all that kind of stuff. Because that's why I make these so people can enjoy them. Okay, so let's take a look here. Well, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to make a little, I don't know what we call it. So this gets a little finicky now because now we're kind of getting into more of the finer details. We're kind of finishing the spoon in a way. So we're getting into what you'll always hear, that bowl to neck transition. And, that's, it's the easy part to like really mess up. And that's all part of how the spoon looks, how it feels, how it's going to function. So I'm starting to create my bevel. So generally I make very simple handles, and then I'll chamfer or I'll bevel these sharp edges. So I'll do that either with the knife or I used to use the draw knife, but that kind of it bites too much into the wood, and it causes the the wood to like run and split in a weird way. Spoke shave, it's good. Um, Takes off, like we said, very, very, very thin shavings. So I'll do that. I'll kind of go back and forth here with the knife and then the spoke shave. Oak is not really. It's okay to. I mean, it's not that bad to carve. Not as bad as you might think, but it's not as it's not as predictable as some of the other woods that you might carve. Okay, just kind of playing around here. There's a lot of back and forth in this stage here. Constantly looking at it. Okay. Okay. You guys can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so let me switch tools. And I'm thinking about it. I think I mean not the next video, but another video that I'll do too is I'll go into a little bit more detail about the spoon mule and about the shave horse and how they're great. Specifically, the shave horse is really good for sharpening your axes. It's basically it's a clamp. You know, you put the axe in, hands free. You don't have to hold the axe. You're pressing down on the dumb head, and then you can just sharpen. That thing is great because I don't have like a real workbench or anything. This is it, and I have like kitchen island thing that we had from our old apartment, and when we bought the house, it just stayed down here in the basement. And I said, hey, wait a minute, I could use this for my. It's right over here. I won't show it to you because it's really messy. um, but yeah, so I don't have like a workbench. So this is my workbench, spoon mule, shave horse. So anyway, it works really good. So now this part's a little fun. When I got this shave horse, um, someone on Instagram was making these, and I reached out to him, and he made it. And it comes. He put these little wedges. He made a few of them. He actually gave me 3. So these 2, and where's the other one? Oh no. Oh, here it is. Here. So these actually go, and again, I'll do another live stream, and I'll cover this a little bit more. These kind of fit on the side to fill in the gap of, in case you need it a little bit tighter for some reason. So now I just kind of angle the spoon, and this works great for my style of cooking spoons. Again, it's just simply a straight handle, and I just take the corners off. So the spoke shave is great. Just come in, just keep chamfering the ends here. Another angle. Again, you could do this with a knife. Yeah, it just takes a little practice and skill to get it real even and everything, but do the same on the other side here. And anybody watching live or after, if you watch the replay of this, feel free to comment. Let me know what else you're interested in discussing. What you want to see videos on, that's fine. You can just let me know, and we'll check it out. I'll try my best to get some stuff up if I can cover it. So again, really hard to see, and it'll be a little bit more cleanup to go. But um, we're gonna also refine the inside of the bowl a little bit more as well. Just refining this other, I don't know, underneath the bowl here. Cleaning up any dirt that may have gotten on it, or always seem to get these. This is like a copying pencil, so it's like works really well on green wood. So almost like a watercolor mark pencil almost, but it's like called a. This is like an antique or vintage copying pencil. Always gets it. Always get it all over the wood all the time when I'm just about done. It's always more scraping and refining to do all the time. Okay, let's take a look. I'm just taking a look here. It's not perfect, and once it dries a little bit more, I'll probably pick at it some more. But we're gonna refine the inside of the bowl here. And just look at. Let me just fix this here. Sometimes you look at something, like I said, and then you gotta go, oh, let me fix that real quick. Okay, sometimes that's all you gotta do. It's just a little something there. Take a look at it here. Oh, did I miss? Oh, what did I do here? Oh, I must have missed. Okay, let's do this here. Okay, it's good enough. Just kind of refining as we go. The handle feels fine as it is right now, but aesthetically, sometimes you look at it and you're just like, I gotta fix this. Oops. Okay. Oops. And what I usually do is get these tools. Sorry. So I have two like normal hook knives that I use. I have I have a bunch, but there are two that I use. So this one, like I mentioned earlier, is the Nick Westerman faucet blade. The first tool, basically that and the Tuca can that I've ever handled. So this is like the original wonky kind of handle. So I do a lot of the work with that. And then this is a Reed Schwartz. He doesn't make this style of hook knife anymore. This was kind of like, from what I understand, kind of making it in the style of Nick Westerman. So it has the, where's my camera at? It has the like the tracks on it. kind of like a Nick Westerman does. This is the Nick Westerman. This is, no, the camera works like horrible. So it has those, tracks on the side. A lot of people mimic now, which is a good thing. That people are making good tools. Anyway, so now I'll use this at the end pretty much to. This one cuts differently, so it's hard to explain. It's like more about a feel for me. It kind of like takes out a lot of the high spots. This one does it really well, and I love this hook knife because Reed made the handle, and it's an incredible handle. So comfortable. All right, so let me just put this over here somewhere. Okay. So anyway, basically, now I'll try my best to get this. Sorry about all this. Is we're just going to just refine the inside of the bowl. That's really it. It's again right now the spoon. If you had this in your kitchen, or if I had brought this upstairs, it will work just fine. But again, it's those aesthetic things you want to always work on, especially me. This craft is, man, you're constantly learning every time you're. Doesn't matter how long you're doing this stuff, man. And I'm a kind of learn as I go kind of guy, learn through a lot of trial and error. The problem is I got to stop buying too many tools for this. That's the other problem with the craft is can't stop buying the tools. It's crazy. Oh, man. This part's really, really tricky. You can really cut yourself. So you got to be really careful when you're trying to get these edges here. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. Now I'm coming down towards me, which is fine. Remember, with your experience, some woods carve differently. Oak, man. Oak's okay, I guess. It's tough. Is it cracking? And I've been at this point where I've been carving, and there's like a split with the oak, and the stuff will just split. I'm like, what the heck, man? So it's been a little frustrating. But again, I got to carve what I got. So a lot of back and forth here, because I think what's happening is we're meeting the top of this. I think the grains are like meeting in the middle, I guess, is how I've always seen it explained, and that's how it feels when you carve it, So there, when it's giving a little bit of, it's not cooperating, then I come and you come cross grain. Gotta be careful. Gotta really watch your. Really gotta watch your thumbs. And all what I'm doing here is we're just kind of getting these high spots out. And that's how I'm not putting a lot of pressure here. That's how you get a smooth finish. You're just, I don't want to say light pressure, but you're not digging in. The purpose here is not to dig in. I've already got the bowl as deep as I want it for this style of spoon. So, the Sling Linear Lake. I tried that with the Tuca Cam, Joshua. This big long thing. Where I've seen that where people, they tie that lanyard around their neck and they're using it as like leverage. I think I tried that when I first started and it just felt weird. But as I was explaining to one of my students, I've been teaching someone private lessons for about a year or two now. And you can pick up a tool like and I'll discuss this about one of the axes, the Julia Kalthoff axe. You and I'll go over that in a separate video. But you can pick up or you do something for the first time and it feels really weird. But if you just keep doing it, then it'll feel good. Like I said, I tried it a couple of times. It just it doesn't work well with like a shorter handle hook knife. So uh, it's just I guess you got to use your just build up the strength in your arms and your fingers and stuff. I guess. Um, again, I've cut myself so many times doing this. But with the Tuka cam, I kind of like tuck the handle like under my armpit, so I kind of like do that as kind of like leverage as well. But not with the smaller hook knives. But I have seen people do it with great success. But anyway, getting back to the axe, I was saying I'm not used to the Kalthoff handle, so the axe initially, I don't want to say I didn't like it. It just felt I had to get used to it, and I've used it a little bit more, and it's starting to become a little bit more comfortable. So that's just the thing where you have a technique or you're using a new tool or an accessory, and you just have to use it and make it work, I guess. Oops, come on. This part is so tricky when you're getting into that middle part when you're trying to get that rim of the bowl really clean. I've gotten better. Sometimes I really just kind of screw it up, but it it having these like really fine details. I think it matters a little bit more when you're making, not more than a little, but it matters more when you're making eating spoons because with eating spoons, um, not only are you holding it, but it's going into your mouth as well. So many things matter more or just different compared to cooking spoons, I guess. Let's see, we're getting close to getting done here, I think. And oak, some of the woods you'll find when you carve it. I always use the word like forgiving, like oak and maple. You can really uh, test the limits of the wood, and what I mean is like how thin you can go with the neck, different things. Um, so the oak spoons always feel really thick to me, like in the bowl. But so that tells me that I should probably be going a lot thinner. But I think just for the sake of time, not because I'm on a live stream, but just in general with the some of these cookers, um, as long as I look at it and I can say, this can be used as a cooking spoon in my kitchen, then I know it can be used in someone else's. And I always say to my wife all the time, I say, if nobody buys it, it'll just go back in it'll go up in the kitchen and we'll use it. And I've done that several times, and that seems to work out just fine, especially for her because she loves. Let me switch positions here. She loves to cook, so. Trying my best here. Camera's all crooked. Oh man. It's all good. Yeah, this part's also finicky because this is like getting into the final details of things. So last time I remember you. Oh God, why can I not see these comments? Hold on, where are the comments at here? Okay, there we go. All messages. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to. Where are the? No, okay, wait, where is it at? Oh God, sorry. I'm such a boomer at this, aren't I? I'm just like, I'll try to catch the comment. I'm learning as I go along here. I'll do better next time, hopefully. Sorry, Joshua, I didn't see something about last time. I'll have to catch it. I'll have to catch it later, and I'll comment. I'll comment to you when the video's over. Oh. I guess it's like kind of hard to like talk. I want you to comment if you want to talk, if you want to chat. That's perfectly fine too. But uh, when people do live streams, a lot of times they're like talking to an audience and they're not like carving a spoon. or. But I that's why I want to try to do some more of these if I have time, because I like to engage with people. I like to talk, and back of this bowl here. Now the back we can go a little bit more. See how wet that is there. Go a little deeper. Gotta be careful. Ooh. Oops. Oh man. Yeah, it's getting tough. Try to clean up the back of the bowl here if you can see. Okay. Oops. Oh man. Whew. Mm. Been carving this whole time. I forgot to drink my coffee down here. Man, kind of messing up, aren't I? And also, just remember when you are okay. Whoops. Please focus more on the dangerous tool in your hand. Oh, okay. Yeah, I hear you. I'm focusing. I'm always focusing, Joshua. I know. I know it's scary, right? I'll tell you what. I haven't really, like when you're using the tool. Again, even now, I'm talking about even currently. When you're coming this way, see my thumb. Try to keep your thumb underneath. This isn't, I'm not giving any lessons here, but just talking about safety. For me, and I'm not suggesting anybody do this, but it's always tapping my thumb. But I'm not like putting it all the way through like with pressure. So I do occasionally, I don't want to say cut myself to the, it's not like a cut where it's like stitches or anything. It's like little nicks here and there. I actually cut myself on the draw knife more than anything. The little corners of the draw knife, where is it at? Oh, here it is. These little corners here, all the time. You tap it and it's like a scalpel, man. So that I'm actually probably cut myself on that thing more than anything. But when I first started carving, I actually cut my finger really bad taking a Mora knife out of the plastic sheath. It was so tight in there. I just like, yeah, I have taped my thumb. I've done that. I tape it or put a Band-Aid there, like on the spot that I usually cut. Like I'm always cutting like the corner of my thumb. I go back and forth with that. If like if I'm cutting, like I'm always hitting it, then I'll tape it, but it's not comfortable. And like with, I don't know, like with the carving, you're so used to the tool, like your actual skin touching like the handle, that the tape or the bandage, it kind of gives a different feel when you're carving. But to answer your question, yeah, I have tried that, yeah, and it's worked out. But I think for the most part, I'm not um, I'm not cutting myself as much, and it's pretty infrequent that I will cut myself. It's like little nicks here and there, and I think that's to be expected if you're using sharp tools. You're going to get little I don't want to say paper cuts, but like little slices here and there. Nothing to the point where it's like full blown stitches and stuff. I said that's happened to me. Yes, that has happened. So years ago. So but that's always on my mind, of course, with carving. Not it's because again, it's inevitable that you're going to you're going to cut yourself. I mean, it's just law of averages, using sharp tools. So I'm going back and forth here, kind of playing around. I know when this is done, I'll look at it upstairs when I'm up in the living room or the dining room. And I'll see some spots I don't like. So now I'm going to switch to the Reed Schwartz. And this, like I said, this cuts a little bit different than the Nick Westerman. It's a little bit more rigid, um, and the shape of the blade is a little different, so it does cut a little different. And I'm not really going to be doing too much refining. This is again more of just like scraping the high spots out. And the less high spots I have, the less I have to do in the oiling stage of things, when I'm burnishing and then oiling the spoon and everything. So um, it has a slightly different feel. Just getting that back of the bowl a little bit more. A lot of this stuff is just like so redundant, it's like back, but it's fun. It's like back and forth. You're constantly, it's one of the one of the things about it. You feel like you're never done the spoon. It's always something. It's easy to overdo it, I guess. You look at this, not even. And it's funny, like whenever I do these spoons, it's always like one side is more lopsided. Hard to really tell. It's not clean here, but we're going to adjust it as we go. But it's a little bit more refined. I have to clean this up. Where's it back here? Get that. I could actually go a lot deeper with this spoon. This is just a simple cooking spoon. It just what does a cooking spoon have to do? Move material, move the food around, serve a little bit, scrape, stuff like that. That's what I'm thinking about. Can go a lot deeper, especially in the back here, and I'm like feeling, if you look at like the spoon this way from inside here, I could feel using my fingers as like calipers. That could really scoop out a lot more, but I probably won't. This is okay. Come on, a little bit of pressure there. Oh man, that's fighting me. Woo! I'm kind of glad I started on this spoon and not the plum, because the plum that I was working on, never carved that before, and I think for a live stream, you'd probably see me struggle with that the whole time as far as the wood, the density of it. It's very dense. Okay, I'm just looking. I know I'm going to be picking at this later for sure. A little bit. Okay. It's kind of hard to pick up. All that discoloration is actually the dampness in the wood. So with this one, let me see here. I might just take my carving knife and put this hook knife back, and just play around with it. And just going to look at some of the look at it with me here. Let's see here. Every spoon is different, but I play around with this neck part here. I might take these bevels in more to give it a more so it's not as chunky here, and it's just more of an aesthetic thing. So I might kind of do that just a little bit. Come down those bevels. And this is very delicate work here. Not trying to remove too much, because that can just change the whole look of the spoon. Especially this, it's so finicky in that neck part, you know. It's very, it's so many subtle, little subtle cuts that you take that change it, you know. It's, you know, most people, if you look at it, you're like, oh, what's the big difference? What did you do? But it's when you're making it, then you can see the difference from just a little bit of refinement to leaving it the way it was. It just makes a difference to you as the maker, I guess, you know. And I guess that's, in a way, that's what counts. You gotta be happy with it, I guess. And there's some stuff I'm not happy with, you know. But I'll show it to family or friends or coworkers. Like, oh, this is really nice. You know, that happens, I guess. Let's take a look here. Just a little bit off these bevels here. A little bit more. It's always, one side is always looking different than the other, like always. It's going to be hard to pick up here, but I'm just kind of playing with the neck here. Just this little part. Take these corners off, top of the handle. I don't get too crazy about this. I just basically, it's more of a functional thing. Taking those corners off so it's a little bit more comfortable when you hold the spoon when you're using it. So that little bit there, what's going on here with this piece? Okay. You feel it. Feels good. Got good. It's another thing I do. You know, the way I hold a spoon, I always hold it more to the top. So I've seen some people cook like this. Everybody's different. That's the kind of the cool thing. And that's what one of the things I like about when I sell my work is I get to talk to people and I say, hey, pick up the spoon. And like some people hold the spoon down here and they cook like that. Some people kind of like me, I like to hold it like at the very tip It's just the way I like it. My wife is a little different. Yeah, Joshua. Actually, I do. I have a bunch of my early spoons. Um, I have my very first spoon. I still have that. And I have a bunch that I've made that are in the kitchen. Actually, a bunch I actually threw away. I think like a year or two ago, because I had to make room for some of the better work um, that that my wife uses in the kitchen. So some, occasionally, I'll let her pick a spoon or two, and I'll say, "Hey, you like this?" or whatever. So some of the early work I did throw away, but a bunch I still have as well. They're in the little spoon colander. They don't get used that much, but I think every now and then she might use it. But yeah, I have them. I think it's good to look at them. That's one of the reasons why I still kind of post on Instagram. I'm not as active on there. I'm always logged in most of the time, just looking at some pictures sometimes. But I do go back and even look at some of the older work. And Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, but you know, it's um, it's fun to see the progress for sure. I hope I can do this for as long as I can. I'm not definitely not getting any younger. So yeah, I really hope I can because I really enjoy the process of the spoon carving. This Everything about it is fun. Um, so I don't look at it like a chore. I think if I had to sell full time, it might be a little tough. It's kind of tough sometimes now as it is having I guess it's a part-time business, even though it's keeps us pretty busy. Um, I guess the stress of having to make ends meet that way would be really 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 taxing. Um, but but anyway, yeah, I really enjoy everything: splitting the wood, flattening it so I can draw my design, all that stuff is enjoyable to me. I need to go up. What am I doing here? Whoops. Here we go. Figure this out. So what am I doing now? I'm not going to get too crazy with this kind of spoon. This is I always have trouble with this part when I'm doing this blending, whatever you want to call this part, all the time. That's just always gives me a hard time because one side is off. This one's actually not too bad. I did pretty good, but man, sometimes I'm down here just on the neck part for like 2 hours. I'm like trying to get it to where it doesn't look too funky. Okay, get this little piece here. Yeah, oak is really forgiving now. You could go pretty thin. Um, I don't want to because, oh man, come on. Oak feels pretty good in the hand when it's like real thick. So, like when you're using it as a cooking spoon, it feels like it's not going to break. So it's good to have a nice, thick. I'm getting close to getting done with this, guys. So that's kind of cool. If anybody wants to chat when I'm done, you can. We can, if you have any questions, I'll be able to look at the chat and answer any questions if you have any. Um, it's perfectly fine if you have time, but if you don't, that's all good. So if you want to talk after or chat, that's perfectly fine. here. Let's see. A little bit of refinement here. Oops, going a little bit too far. Very delicate here. Not too much. Doing a lot of things that probably don't really matter, but right here, as far as the. Okay, take a look at this. I feel like I got to do a little bit more. Let me look at this. A little fat right there. Ah, come on. What's going on here with this one? What's going on here? Okay, let's take a look here. Lighting, I know, is bad, but so I might. Let me just take a look. I'm just looking. Might clean. Whoops. Might clean this up. There's some pencil marker there. Thanks, Joshua. You know, like I said, I'm not gonna get too crazy. It's so easy to do that, but like back here, whoops, the back of the bowl it's thick when I feel in between the back of the bowl and underneath. It's very thick. And basically it'd be just this back, I call this the U, the back part of the spoon. This can be hollowed out a lot more and it will give it a slightly, not really a different look, but it would, I think as far as use, it would it would probably give it a little bit better, like a serving capability. So I try to make all my cooking spoons where they're good to serve, like scoop, and then also like saute, scraping the pan, just moving stuff around. So, but these I make so many of these that they're all different. Some of them are very deep, some are even more shallow than this. So they'll kind of fit the need for anybody that's looking for something very shallow or very deep. So I don't want to overthink it. I actually thank you for the compliment, but I do like the way this one looks. It looks pretty good. Um, like I said, I'll probably look at this later on and just fix a couple of things here and there when I see it in a little bit better lighting. Like this little piece here is killing me here, but there we go. Maybe something like that. And burnishing can also correct some minor aesthetic differences, like very minor aesthetic differences, because you're like pushing the wood in. So when you're like, if this side is not as even as this, burnishing can kind of very, very slightly fix things. So let me just see here. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Let me just look at this here. I might hit it with the spoke shave again. looking at it some more. Yeah, this part, I probably spend most of my, not most of, a lot of time on this little part here all the time. I'm always doing that. Let me take you over with the spoke shave, and we will do that. It's not perfect. It's killing me. Ugh. Put this knife away so I don't cut myself. Doesn't look like I did much, but I did something, I think. Swing my leg over. Ugh. Swing you guys back over here. Okay. All right, so what am I going to do? I guess I'm going to look at this. Play around with the, I'm just going to, another thing with the shave horse, or rather the spoon mule, if I put this back here, you see how the bowl has already been hollowed. That's basically resting on the wood. That can cause a crack in your spoon. So if you clamp this in, you start using your draw knife or your spoke shave, it just creates a lot of pressure and you could crack your spoon very easily. So just a little tip if you guys have one of these. Now the bowl is not supported here, but I'm not putting like a ton of pressure. This is just getting any little tiny high spots out, going a little bit slowly with the shave here. A little bit more controlled. So I'm not putting a lot of pressure. Even though the wood is not supported underneath here, that's okay. I'm not cranking down. Nice and easy. Could do this with the carving knife. Just takes a little bit longer. Seems like it takes forever. So I always like to try to encourage people that you don't have to have all this stuff, tools. You don't even need fancy carving axes to get the job done. You could do everything by hand. Simple couple tools. It's very true. Okay, take a look at this. Put this down here. Okay. Getting done. Pretty much getting done here. Saw something. I want to get this little piece. Oh, you know what? I forgot to clean up this bowl. The rim. Don't want to go too hard here. I'll do that in a second. Okay. Always. Okay. Now you see, like I said, we're always picking at it, right? I just pretty much got done this part, but we're always kind of looking at it here. Not perfect, but that is okay. Doesn't have to be. Just can't be too funky. Come on. Okay. Just trying to widen that rim just a little bit. Not perfect. It's killing me because it's, see, with the knife, it's a little harder compared to the draw knife. It's for me anyway. Okay. Let's take a look at it. Doesn't have to be too perfect. Put this knife back right there. Let's take a look here. It's like also this part here. Little corner right there. It's always have trouble with that. Always. Certain things that you always will have trouble with. Let's take a look here on the camera. It looks pretty decent. Like I said, this is a cooker, so certain parts of it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter that much. Once you start using it in the kitchen, it won't even look like this anymore. It'll darken, and if that's the only spoon you have, it'll get chipped. Always try to encourage people to buy more than one if they can, because if this is like the only spoon you have, then most likely will get damaged very easily, quickly. Okay. All right. So, kind of winding down here. Just wanted to kind of do a couple little let me see how this thing feels in the hand. I like to spin it, feel the balance. Still a little wet, so it's going to feel a little bit different when it dries. Do one slow, clean bevel there, down. Okay. Nice and clean. Okay. You look underneath. So let's take a look at that. Hard to tell. It's a little thinner, which is good. It's a little thinner here aesthetically. I like that a little bit better. It's not perfect, but this is a basic spoon. Very functional in the kitchen for sure. Very functional. Let me just do one little and I'll be done. So if you want any questions, just let me know. If not, I'll end the stream. It's no big deal. It's all good. Again, if there's any suggestions that anybody has for any future live streams, I'll try to accommodate the best I can. I'm limited with some things. Not so much with time. I can coordinate with the wife and the baby, or it's not a baby anymore, but I could coordinate with her to try to grow the channel a little bit more. I'd like to do that, just get more people involved with the craft, and knowing about it. So, um, all right, let's take a look here. Okay. Yeah, I think this works. Yeah, it's pretty basic. I don't know, guys. You're probably like, what is this guy doing? Just fix this here. It's a little rough right in that little spot. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much it. If you follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at the Bearded Carver. I'll post this on Instagram once it's oiled, another day or two, and I'll just give a little shout out to everyone, say thank you for. Yeah, no problem, Joshua. I understand, man. I don't have as much time as I used to, even though we kind of make the time because of the selling of things. I'm glad you got to carve today. That's really good to hear. Um, a lot of times anymore, man, I fall asleep with with the baby, with my daughter at night. I'll fall asleep in her room and I put her to bed. And before I used to just be able to carve till like 2 o'clock in the morning. But you got dad responsibilities now, so that's what happens, and that's a good thing, I guess. Um, yeah, and I think with um, the carving, I'm just gonna do a couple little things real quick. Um, you just have to enjoy the time that you have when you do carve. I guess that's important. So, um, like I said, it's a little different if you did it full time as a business, and that's how you made your ends meet. It'd be again a little bit more, I guess, stressful. But yeah, man, that's good. I'm glad you were inspired to carve. It's awesome. That's really awesome. I really will try to do some more of these live streams. I hope it doesn't get boring. I mean, it would probably just be me carving spoons, I guess. And like I said, I have maybe some other things to talk about, like the tools. I can just kind of show off the tools, talk about them, um, talk about. I guess I can show my like the spoon collection from other makers. Although I did a video on that like 2 years ago, but maybe in a live stream if you wanted to see it in real time. I don't know. I'll definitely go over the spoon mule shave horse. It's awesome. Kind of try to go over that a little bit, and yeah, but you follow me on Instagram. You can always reach out to me, man. That's all good. And if you have any suggestions, like I said, of things you want me to talk about, whatever, that's all good. Just let me know. Even if you're the only one watching, man, that's all good. It doesn't matter. I enjoy, reaching out to anybody or talking to anyone that's interested in this stuff. Um, yeah, it's all good. So I'm just kind of messing with this spoon as I'm talking here. Saw something I didn't like, so I'm just gonna Yeah, I think this is it. I think, let me just fix this. Okay. Okay. I'm just looking at it one last time. Oh. Okay. Okay, let's take a look. One last time. Get a different knife here. Use the Mora 120. It's a little different feel. Okay, a little bit there. I think this is good. I don't want to get too crazy. It's so easy to get lost. Hard to tell in this light, but it looks pretty cool. So I'm happy with it. It's my style. So I guess I'll end it. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. And I guess I'll catch you on the next one. All right. There it is. Finished cooking spoon. Oak. Now, if I can figure out how to end the live stream, I'll be good. All right. See ya.